Shalom, shalom, as you continue with the lesson pertaining to salvation. Let me just make sure. Right. Go back into the lesson for the particular purpose of edifying the brother. But to continue, we like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Give double honors to the apostles and prophets and elders of GMS Camp, but I ask great mercy for the bring forth the 100% truth that have been correctly edified under. Shalom to the elect, the tabernacle of David. I'm a brother Kazak from HOY, House of Yahweh Shai. Continue with this lesson as we read now into what the information ChatGPT has given. It says salvation is content covenantal select and lineage bound. Pay attention to this because you're going to go forward and you're going to go backward also with the evidence provided. It's also provided in the scriptures, as you can see. The covenant was made to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, which name was changed to Israel. And we could also confirm this as we go into this. I believe we could go into the precepts and confirm it ourselves. Okay, so let me get into it. As you're doing so, I believe what I said Israel, I put something else. I want to know what's going on here. Right. And also here. It says, and power said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. You see that? And it says, and power said unto him, I am power almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and the kings shall come out of thy loins. Okay? So, on the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. Salakia. See? And Salakia for the throat situation, the virus and the teeth. So talking loud is an issue right now. So I'm just trying to get as sweet and short as possible. Right? So as you can see, so the name was changed to Israel, which is why we had to confirm this because of the new gentleman, which he's coming along, but he has a little sharpness. Let us continue. As it continues, it says Galatians chapter 3 and verses 16. It says what is that? It says the promise to the seed of the singular, which let's get that precept so it could be more clarified, more clear. Let's read Galatians chapter 3. We're following what ChatGPT was saying. Alright, verse 16. But let's have verses 14. Alright? Or 14 or 15. Either way. I go from verses 15. It says, brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or added thereto. See that? So you can't add on to the covenant that the Heavenly Father gave to the children of Israel, nor can you take away. And let me give an example to that. By doing so, by breaching this, you will be like many Christians like to say, all people can be saved and God loves everybody. That's what you call breaching. That's what you call adding. Because you know why? The covenant was the salvation and the glory was given to who? The children of Israel through the covenant. No other nation but the children of Israel was part of that covenant that they had in Mount Sinai. The other multitude, as you know, got swept out, as we know. For those who didn't realize, Numbers chapter 21 verses 6, I believe, they got eliminated, along with many of our wicked jakes back then. So as we know this, read. It says, now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said not, and to the seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach. This, this here, this right here, this right here, this right here. Make me highlight this. See this? Let's see what, no. Any more sweetness? I think it have more sweetness here. I think, yeah, well, let me just highlight 1, 2, 3. You see, I'm putting yellow cap or rest in yellow. You see that? That almost automatically shows you who it's for, because the Messiah come out of the loins or the line of Israel, Judah to be exact. But anyways, okay, let's continue. Let's read. I mean, it gives it away as you read it, because I actually made a point in it, which is why I give it away. It says, Psalms, so it says the promise to the seed of Abraham, singular, the Messiah who comes from Judah. See that? Like I said, Psalms 105, 9 and 10, confirmed to Israel for an everlasting covenant. So, Jeremiah chapter 31, 31 to 33, covenant written on Israel's heart, never extended to others. So it excludes any other nations from trying to come in, or from anybody teaching that other nations can come in. So anyone who's teaching that other nations can come in would automatically be a what? Liar, and they'll be added to the scriptures, because it'd be, for some reason, they're trying this, they have been trying this all the time, especially trying to fight for the white man. Edom would make it. Esau, Edom will enter the kingdom too. No, it's not. They're not going to do so. Esau, Edom is a great multitude. No, they're not going to. They're not. Simple as you can get it. It says Jeremiah 31. So again, 31. Covenant written on Israel's heart, never extended to others. Only Israel's heart. If you are Israelite, then you are part that the covenant is going to be written on. No one else. So salvation is tied to Israel, those of the bloodline and covenant, even if scattered or disobedient. Let's go into the next part. No heathens are added. Romans 11 and the OT context consistently shows that the broken branches were disobedient Israelites, grafted in branches was Israelite restored. Heathens equals created to serve Israel. Wow. I didn't even add this. What? Wait. Heathens equals created to serve Israel. Maccabees 1, 2, and First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10. Psalm chapter 2 and verses 8 and 9. I know this one is. I know this one is directly. This is referring to the all the heathens are of the Messiah's possession, and where we are going to rule over them. Roughly paraphrasing. It says, there is no scripture that makes no non-Israelite a covenant heir. So there is no inclusion of heathens, singular or groups, into Israel's covenant inheritance. Even Israel's failure does not nullify the covenant. Wow. Let's go into that. So people can understand. Romans 11 and 26. All Israel shall be saved. All Israel equals all covenant Israelites, including those exiles, scattered, or rebellious. Leviticus 26 and verse 44 to 46. Let's read that, because this doesn't give all the information here. So let's read that. Leviticus 26 and verse 44, as it mentioned, right? And it says, and yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yahweh, their power. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their power, for I am Yahweh. So you see, the covenant remains in man because it's an everlasting covenant with us and Yahweh Shai, as mentioned in Psalms 105. Let's continue. It's a covenant that he's keeping forever. It has not going to change. The people is not going to change, and the covenant is not going to change. It's only going to become more bountiful. It says, these are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yahweh made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. I keep highlighting this to yellow. Very clear precept. Things that cannot be refuted. Let's go back into it because we are going into it. Hebrews 8 and 10 to 12 shows the covenant, God's promise, a restoration of covenant faithfulness within Israel. So Israel's disobedience delay restoration, but does not prevent ultimate salvation. That is exactly what it is. And we doesn't delay restoration. It's according to the ways and the plans of Yahweh Shai. That is exactly what it is. But let's continue. In summary, salvation is reserved for Israel alone, based on line and covenant. Even if Israel, I wish I could move that. Even if Israel fails or scattered, powers promise guarantees our restoration and salvation. Okay. Actually, right here. So, or is scattered, powers promise guarantees their restoration and salvation. There is no biblical provisions for including heathens, whether individual or collectively, into this covenant inheritance. And they read it and they send the precepts, which is this aligns fully with Romans 11, Galatians 3, Psalms 105, Jeremiah 31, and Leviticus. If you want, I can compile one Google searchable, which I did, of course. And I'm going to bring it to you all now. It's right here. It's literally right here, so you can see also. Because we're not trying to lean onto our own understanding, if you understand where I'm coming from. And this is the fifth part. So I'll screenshot now to it with fourth. Right, and this is the fifth here, and sixth. Okay, so I gotta go from here, and then come down and go up, right? So same thing in Galatians, which you have the highlights here, which the Google search over the cases, which we have the understanding of. They give a diagram, same speed, right? The covenant was not generalized to many seed, but originally promised to the singular seed, the Messiah. This supports the idea of a chosen lineage that traces through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And guess who was the Messiah back then? Adam. One more time. Adam. And guess who was he also? Aside from Melchizedek. Guess who? Isaac. So you said the line remains. You notice notice what happened here? Here I'm saying, the covenant was not generalized to many seeds, but originally promised to one singular seed, the Messiah. This supports the idea of a chosen line that traces through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Judah, and Messiah. But remember, ChatGPT doesn't understand reincarnation. So now, who was the Messiah in his first incarnation? After creating the earth and and everything else, along with the Alahayams, it would be the Messiah. It would be Adam, his first incarnation. And then his lineage remains because his lineage never died. His line remained until a particular point and continues after through Abraham. And from here, again, Abraham and Isaac. Isaac brought the chosen lineage, which is Jacob and the children of Israel. And it continues to where he came back through his lineage to save his people from what their sins and from and from the enemies. You see how that is? From their sins and from what their enemies. So let me continue into the next part.